Every night, when the rest of the house grew quiet and the stars began their silent watch, Arun sat at his heavy oak desk. He didn't reach for a glowing screen or a clicking keyboard. Instead, he pulled out a thick, leather-bound book and a fountain pen. The scratch of the nib against the paper was the only sound in the room, a rhythmic pulse that marked the end of another day. To Arun, this wasn't just writing. It was a conversation with time itself. One evening, his daughter Sunny appeared in the doorway. She was 14, a whirlwind of digital energy, her life captured in fleeting pixels and disappearing stories. She watched him for a long moment, fascinated by the deliberate slowness of his movements. "Dad," she whispered, stepping into the circle of lamplight, "why do you still do that? It takes so long. You could just type it all into your phone in 5 minutes." Sunny held up her sleek, slim tablet, its screen buzzing with notifications and bright colors. "Everything is faster here," she said, tapping the glass. "It saves automatically, it's organized, and you never run out of space. Handwriting seems like a lot of extra work for something nobody else is ever going to see." She couldn't understand the appeal of stained fingers and the smell of old paper. Arun chuckled and held up his pen, the tip still wet with dark blue ink. "Speed isn't the point, Sunny," he said softly. "When I write by hand, I can feel the words. If I'm sad, the ink might smudge from a heavy hand. If I'm happy, the letters dance a little more. A digital font looks the same, whether you're heartbroken or overjoyed. This page holds the ghost of how I felt the moment I wrote it." He invited her to sit, showing her the texture of the cream-colored pages. "Someday," he told her, "technology will change. Your tablet will be replaced by something newer, and your files might be lost in a cloud you can't reach. But this book will stay. It's a physical piece of my life that I can leave behind." Sunny listened, though she still wasn't quite convinced. To her, the future was always digital. Years blurred into a fast-forward reel. Sunny grew up, moved away, and started a life of her own, filled with laptops and high-speed connections. One autumn afternoon, while visiting her childhood home to help her parents downsize, she climbed into the attic. It was a labyrinth of memories, filled with the scent of cedar and dust motes dancing in the shafts of sunlight. Inside a sturdy wooden chest she found them, a chronological stack of the same leather-bound diaries she had seen her father write in every night. There were dozens of them, their spines cracked and their covers weathered. Sunny felt a sudden lump in her throat as she pulled the top one from the pile. The weight of it felt significant, like holding a heavy secret. She opened the volume marked with the year she turned 5. To her shock, the pages weren't about her father's work or his hobbies. They were about her. "Sunny lost her first tooth today," she read. "She was so brave, even though she was scared. I hope she always keeps that courage." There were sketches of her drawings and pressed flowers from the park. Every page was a love letter to her childhood, recorded in her father's steady, familiar hand. "He never stopped writing about you," a voice said softly. Sunny looked up to see her mother, Kavita, standing by the attic stairs. Kavita smiled, walking over to sit beside her daughter. "Every night, he'd record the little things you did that made him proud. He wanted you to have a map of how much you were loved, written in a way that time couldn't delete." Sunny carried the diaries downstairs, where Arun was sitting in the living room, his hair now silver and his hands a bit shaky. She didn't say a word. She simply sat beside him and took his hand. She finally understood that the ink wasn't just about recording facts, it was a bridge across the years. The digital world was for the present, but the diary was for forever.